Why do some criticize skinny people for being too skinny and not see it as offensive? It's more socially accepted to punch up mock groups or people with more power or privilege than you than it is to punch down same, but people without vastly increased power privilege compared to you. Shaming skinny people isn't punching up, but some people feel like it is because they are envious and have this idea of you're closer to what I want, life I want to live, or otherwise have something I wish I had, so you must be better off, so it's okay to criticize you. We see this in other ways, with some people mocking others for being tall or white or other things that are often unjustly idealized. It's not any less wrong, but it feels less wrong to a lot of people. Crazy, right? No one wants to even hear that it bothers you. I was lacking muscle tone as a young man, criticized for it. It was shocking how people could say mean things in a grossed out tone and scowl on their face as if the very sight of you was offensive. I was assured that it was better than being called fat. I tried hard to gain. My parents would kind of laugh at me trying to put on weight for some reason. Being a skinny young man is not fun. I was lucky enough to outgrow this over time and look a lot better than most 30-somethings now. I've been chubby my whole life, but my sister on the other hand is super thin. It was an interesting experience and gave me a lot of insight into both sides of the spectrum. I, of course, got made fun of for being fat and picked on, but my sister not only got made fun of, but also constantly accused of having an eating disorder even by medical staff more than once. It was wild to see people insist she was anorexic even when she would deny it, and my mother and I would deny it as well. I had trouble finding clothes that fit, but so did she. I get why there is more focus on fat people since they are much more likely to experience discrimination both personally and medically based on weight. But I do also wish we focused more on emphasizing that all bodies are good bodies. I used to get sick of being skinny shamed. It's real and does exist. My daughter has always been very skinny and she eats whatever she wants. One doctor wouldn't let me in the room because he thought I wasn't feeding her. He realized I wasn't when he asked her what she eats daily. After that we got a new doctor. Even now, she's an adult and she's still very thin. She's always had dancer legs. I've had issues with weight and being skinny all my life, and people didn't care about the things they said to me. I've always found it ironic that there's double standards for things like weight, etc. It hurt me just as much as someone who may struggle with obesity or being overweight. Because they are jealous of your genes, point blank. They wish they had your problem instead of theirs. They don't see it as offensive because that's what they yearn for. Haters gonna hate, that's just what they do. I have been told lots of crap because of being skinny, not that I care anyway. I've been told I use drugs as well, lol. Just don't care. I love myself. I love how I look. I never judge by appearances. I try to make everyone confident about themselves. I've been made fun of my entire life for being too small skinny. At 17 found out I had Crohn's disease, and that's why I can't keep up on weight. After I had surgery in a biologic and got a little healthier, my boobs grew finally, and one of my husband's friends one time said I looked like a 12-year-old with fake tits. Incredibly inappropriate shit like that has been said to my husband. Everyone can be victims of bullying no matter what though. If you drive a nice car, daddy must have bought it. If you can't afford to go out to dinner, you're lame and not trying hard enough. If you're pretty, you must be stupid, etc. Shitty people can be shitty to anyone, and I simply don't associate with anyone like that anymore. When I was younger I was naturally skinny and some of my friends were a bit envious, but never mean about it. Now that I'm middle-aged, guess what? Still naturally skinny, but now it's like everyone thinks it's abnormal for a middle-aged woman to be skinny without something being wrong with her. And of course it's perfectly fine to express their opinions about it. I've just gotten full-on rude about it at this point. Luckily I'm reaching my why am I wasting my time talking to this asshole phase of life. Many people view skinny folks as more privileged, depending on the community or geographical location. Not always true, but that's the general consensus. I hated how skinny I was when I was younger. I remember when I was described as suo skinny, and I hated the tone they'd always use. But then I was being ridiculous when I'd say I wish I could gain weight. I am a fat ass, and I will definitely call you out if you try to skinny shame someone. It's as disrespectful and disgusting as fat shaming. It amazes my wife and me that people think it's okay to walk up to her and say you need to eat a cheeseburger. People think punching up is okay and don't second guess their ability to judge what includes punching up. It's the same reason why people used to think it was okay to make fun of Asians for being good at math. It does. And the rise in awareness of eating disorders is taking care of this so-called skinny shaming. Probably the same reason why making fun of short guys is still okay, I assume. Dunno, but why should anyone care about what others think? Be the bigger person. You have to understand there's also a difference in being a jerk and just being concerned about someone you care about. I'm not saying people should be given a pass to nag you, but if it comes from a place of love, that definitely matters.